On to one of the saddest things that happened this week was the demise of one of my favorites, singer Kiki. And if I share my own experience with Kiki, is like I have met him in person. He was
Wow.
performing in my college in Assam Engineering College, Guwahati, back in the day. And before even we met him, meeting is just a was like a fanfare, was a event, so we met him. But before that, much before that, in class 6 or 7, we got his song called Yaro Dosti, and if you believe me, we sang that song for like 3 consecutive years, for farewell, on the farewell event of our school. Whenever the 10th guys used to pass away, right, we used to host a farewell, the juniors. We used to go and perform, this song, because this song actually connected everyone so much. And not only this song, there are so many songs that he has produced, and his life has been such a good life as a singer. I'm just I was When I got the news, I got like totally devastated. My friends started calling me, giving me messages, stuff. "ये पता है, ये हो गया, वो हो गया," and stuff like that. And then everyone was so sad. Even now, even if I could not believe it, no, because he was young. He is
Yeah.
not like he's old and he died a natural death. It's not like that. He was quite young and he had a plenty of long years to go and had a big mileage on his voice, because his voice is like on point even now. So yeah, sad times.
Yeah, like it's very sad because like I think a college fest was happening on the beginning of this month, or rather the end of May. And since I am from Calcutta, obviously most of my stories and feed will be filled with the concert, obviously. So there was a hype going on. So I thought, yeah, he came, he performed. It's a good thing. But like yesterday, like I saw stories, he's dead, and that is such an unnatural thing because the previous day I was seeing he was performing on the stage on Najrul Manch, I think. Yeah, Najrul Manch, I think. I have to check. And the second day is dead. So at first I thought that it's some kind of a meme, because it's the internet nowadays. You cannot trust the internet. Anything can
Yeah.
be there. There's so much misinformation on the internet. And then and when I first saw the news, I actually did not pay any attention. I'll be very honest. Like I didn't react. Like I was very much insensitive towards the news because I thought it's a fake news. So that's why I didn't
Mm.
react. Then when I came live, I was streaming a game, and people asked me, "Did you hear about the news?" So like then I saw my hot WhatsApp stories, and people in my WhatsApp don't usually share that much misinformation. So then I thought, what? Hello? And actually I was also thinking on the second day. So since I'm no more in college, but I was thinking of actually attending that concert because I also got tickets to that concert. And I thought, no, it's so hot, but it's so hot
Yeah.
in Kolkata right now. Like I don't feel like going out of my home only, let alone watch a concert. So now I actually think like if I went to the concert, I think it would have been much more shocking for me because seeing a person alive on stage and on the next day he is no more with us, and especially KK. And now talking about KK, like he was one of my favorite singers, not only because I used to like just like millions of people listen to him on repeat, but like back in college also or school, I used to sing before I yeah until college, and we had a harmonic club. So I was a vocalist, my friend was a vocalist, and personally I used to choose KK's song because back then I liked songs which had those high scales or tones, and KK's music has those high scales, those uchi awaz. So and his
Mhm.
voice is so unique, and I used to memorize and practice his songs so much, like if I wanted to sing in a class, if I wanted to impress someone, if I wanted to sing in a college even fest with my team. And last day, after hearing the news, the first thing which I did was I called one of my old college mates who was in that harmony club, and we were discussing, we talked, and he was also sad. He was also sad because he has continued singing. He's still to this day he looks up to KK as one of his idols. He sings his songs, and it was heartbreaking. And and I'm also somewhat angry, and there are many reasons for my anger because of how the event happened at Najrul Manch. So here's what I heard. And the reason why I can speak about this freely is because I have been also a student of Calcutta University, and know how these college fests and events are organized. And based on social media news outlets, it said that it was very hot. The auditorium was not well ventilated. There was no AC turning on. KK KK told the authorities on the first day of the show that turn on the AC or do something. So those demands or those requests by KK were not heard by the uh, event management team as quoted in the social media articles. I can't confirm, but it seems like the case because videos have also been on the social media which showed that he was sweating a lot. He was talking to his crew saying bahut garmi hai, and things like that anger me because at the end of the day, I think that event could have been done much more properly, maybe in a bigger stadium. Like we have Netaji indoor stadium, which is very big. It's also indoor stadium, and it has much more better infrastructure to hold such a big concert when a celebrity like KK is coming. Because one more thing that happened which I heard is that Najrul Manch has a capacity of around 2500 or 3000 approximately, and almost 6 to 7,000 people were present in that venue. Now can you imagine a venue which is made for 3,000 people and almost more than double the amount of students are coming? And
Hmm.
that is not something, I mean, that is a common sense that thing might go haywire. In this case it was in the artist side, and sadly he is no longer with us, but demise can also had happened in the students side also.
Right, you are right. Even in the, if you remember, during our school days, early in the morning when you used to do, our assemblies, right? Every day, one or two students used to fall down. Did that happen to your school, your lifetime as well? Your lifetime as well?
Yeah, so in school college, like during the morning prayer or the
Morning.
dispersal prayer, so there was a lot of
Yeah.
ruckus. Like there were
Hmm.
more students, but the count was only one. So yeah, there was definitely
Yeah.
some.
So, coming from that, because we already know that this is possible, we have seen it firsthand many times, not only in schools and colleges, even in bigger auditoriums also, when the management is not done properly or the capacity is not met, overloading the whole hall. Even as slightest of the problems, it can be a slaughter actually, something happens, if someone shouts like fire, or someone shouts something like there is a bomb, right? Everyone will go try to get out of the auditorium, and there might be a stampede as well. So those are the reasons why there should be always, the capacity should be correct, and we allowed, people should be allowed according to the capacity, and there should be also proper exits and ventilation, like you mentioned. Even in the event, with what I also have heard from social media and news outlets, is that he was always complaining about the heat. Then he was drinking water very frequently. Even in the videos you can see it, that even like in between songs he's drinking, profusely drinking water. And one of the most important thing that I heard, and which stunned me very much, is that after he fell down, after he had that attack, after he fell down, it took around 3 hours for the organizers to rush him to a hospital. So now that might be one of the biggest concerns of mine, if true. And if true, I think there will be some kind of action on the organizers as well, because when you take such a big responsibility, you have to be responsible, right? 3 hours rushing a guy to a hospital of the stature of KK, who is your guest, by the way. You have invited him, you have paid him money and invited him for your event. Is your responsibility to take care of him, right? So there might be some punitive action. I'm not sure about it, but according to the news, that it took 3 hours for him to get to the hospital, which was pathetic.
Yeah, and also today, today was the day where the autopsy was supposed to happen, and in this article by the Economic Times, credits to the Economic Times, we can see that KK's autopsy rules out unnatural death, reveals singer had chronic liver and lung issues. So they're ruling out unnatural death, and unnatural death, I mean, suppose says to a cardiac arrest or heart attack, I think, or maybe accidental death. So the autopsy is ruling out this thing. which is
Yeah.
obviously the it's a logical thing because it's autopsy. However, I think, see, like many people have underlying issues, right? Like chronic, I mean, many, everyone, like 90% people have some underlying issues.
Yeah.
But it depends what triggered that thing. And for me, it's for not only for me, any people, guy or girl with a common sense, they can say that the way that event had happened, because it's so hot in Kolkata, like it's not even hot, it's a heat wave. And performing during this heat wave, that also like constant hours of entertainment. And although he's not that much aged, but at the same time he's not that much young also. So it will have some physical, it has had some physical repercussions on him, definitely. And that is only something which we can speak as a uh, theory at in this stage, because he is no longer with us. We wish the authorities took good care of the event, because this would have definitely been avoided in my opinion. And it's just sad because we lost another gem, because this year we have lost so many good gems in India, like Lata Mangeshkar also passed away. We lost a lot of talents, legends this year, and it's just
Yeah, it's
breaks my
sad.
heart.
It's very sad, since Corona happened like 2 years back, 3 years back. Um, we are getting such kind of news, almost on a daily basis.
Hmm.
People who have, with whom we cannot think about, like, we cannot think that they are dead yet. Even though we know, for example, Irfan Khan, right?
Hmm.
Irfan Khan, yeah, the
Hmm.
actor
Hmm.
who acted in Life of a Pi.
Hmm.
He died last year, right? So, well, people whom we really appreciate and whom we have known since our childhood, and have kind of idolized them, those people, when they are no more, it always will be very hurtful. And KK will always be in our minds and our hearts, because he still lives through his
Yeah,
songs and his music.
exactly. Exactly. Like what he has done has definitely is legendary. It will like stay with us. Like he's technically immortal through his work, which is singing, and he has left so many memories. I was thinking of speaking about this. Like when there was no social media, back when there was no age of social medias, it was KK's song that kept us alive when we used to have those small mobiles, those keypad
Mhm.
mobiles. It was the KK songs that kept us alive when you used to go to school, when you used to go to colleges. If we had a crush, if we wanted to impress our crush, it was a song of KK by which we 90s kids used to communicate. And KK has been such an integral part in growing up his songs. And one more thing that I saw, and many people asked that who is KK, and it is so much disheartening to see such things. And the reason why many people don't know about KK, and first of all, if you don't know about KK, then you are not a music lover. But secondly, like I think KK as a person, he always focused on his craft, that is singing. And he didn't focus much about PR, much about branding. He didn't go in like brand himself, and that's why KK has always been an underdog in the singing industry, and he was not dissatisfied with that, because I think as a singer he loved singing, and that is the proof. This event, like even in such a hot heat wave in Calcutta, he still gave his audience who came to see his live performance the best performance that they could see in their lifetime. And sadly, for KK's case, it was his last performance. And it shows that how much passion can drive a person. Like he sang to his death, literally. And
This is one point that me and my friends were discussing, because everything was negative. Our best, oh, our favorite singer is dead, he's no more, right? Everything was negative, but one positive that came out of the negatives is that one of my friends mentioned, think about this: if you get to go out by doing your most favorite thing in the world, there cannot be a better way to go out, right? Because he is a singer, he is a heartthrob because of his singing, and he went away from this world while singing, right? By singing, through singing. And that is, I think, that is the only one positive takeaway I can take from this situation, that he had a great life, and he went away in by doing his favorite thing as well.
yeah, And that is so sad. It's so sad. Sorry, guys. The podcast changed from Amber Heard shitting on Johnny Depp's bedroom to losing one of the finest singers and legends that India had. Whew, crazy week, crazy start to a month. What's next? What does this month have in store for us next? What do you think?
I think I don't know, but nowadays these things don't shock me anymore. Because when you get multiple shocks over a year, right, you kind of become immune to those kind of trickling effects. But what I would like to say is that even when sometimes I'm just randomly hearing like listening to songs and Kiki comes up, it will always make me feel very good because of the ancient memories, about the memories that we made with those songs, right? And it will also make me very sad that we do not have that person anymore amongst us.
Exactly. So like before we end like KK's segment on this podcast. So like, what are the key takeaways? What are the like two or three main takeaways that you have from this recent incident that happened to KK? It might be in terms of event management. It might be in terms of what he gave to us. So, what are your
Yeah,
three main takeaways or two, whatever takeaways you have from KK's
my
incident?
my main takeaways from this incident would be one, that any event organizer should take due care about the climate inside the hall, or the sitting capacity, and also ambulance and other regulations that are needed. If this is not done, then I think the government should interfere and make regulations for such, because we have regulations for every other thing. So why not for this? That might save a lots of life, right, in the future. And the second thing is, takeaway is that, like I said, like my friend mentioned, what a way to go, right? Even though he's not he, nothing can be sadder than that. But rather than dying while he was sleeping in the night, or rather than dying in a road accident or something like that, unfortunate, it's always better to go away by doing the thing that is favorite to you, right? So what a way to go. Hats off to KK, and my respect.
Yeah, he will live on in our hearts. He is immortal through his work, his singing, and one of the finest voices of India. So, yeah,
Right.